Hello everyone, welcome to A Foreigner Farming in the Philippines. Well, thought I'd do a video showing what's going to be my daily tasks for a while in feeding. Really haven't gotten totally to the bottom of it yet, but Consing quit yesterday. As I understand it, there was some kind of tension between her and John and Richard's representative here. They have someone here who's kind of looking in on things for them and keeping an eye on things. And I had no idea. Consing just said that she felt pressured and just quit. She didn't want to have to deal with him anymore. And I wish I had had some kind of a heads up that she was unhappy with the situation. Maybe I could have done something to intervene or deal with it, but she'd already made up her mind, and so I have no choice but to wish her well. So it's pretty much impossible to find someone to take care of pigs anymore. So until we can either find another caretaker or another caretaker for the pigs, or they're moved out of here. I guess it's going to fall to me to feed and care for them. So I thought I'd just make a video showing my routine here. Now I took over feeding the fish about a month ago, and this is part of what I do here. Feed the fish twice a day. That's their feed right there. You know, I never have weighed that. I probably should. The scale's hooked up, so when I get through mashing all this here, I'll go in and weigh it. It's not full because that was the end of the sack, but I usually fill it up to the rim there, so it's probably a half a kilo short of what I normally feed them. I mash this up with Marcel's rolling pin, which hasn't caused my death yet. Because I just have a few little fry that I'm feeding, and it doesn't warrant buying a whole sack of feed for them. So I just use this rolling pin and I mash up, I don't know, 4 or 5 ounces of feed for them twice a day. I just mash up the regular feed and use this. It's hard to do with one hand. Just use this rolling pin and make not a powder out of it, but something pretty close to what graham cracker crust would be. It's pretty fine, and the fry can eat that, and they have been thriving on it, so I'm going to continue that. The fry mash, they call it, which is almost like a powder. It's even finer than this. It's a more uniform fineness rather than some little chunks and some not so much. But it's about, I don't know, 3 times the price of this, mainly because it's a higher protein. But the little fry we've got are doing okay on it, so that's what they're going to stay on for the time being. So I'm going to finish mashing this up, and we'll go in and weigh it and see what I'm feeding the fish twice a day. Alright, so this weighs 5 kilos. So I'm feeding them about 5.5 kilos twice a day, so about 11 kilos of feed. I'm probably underfeeding, but we're gonna pull some out of the first net that we put in and check for size in a day or 2 or 5, whenever Tatai can get around to it. And we're gonna check them for size and see how they're growing. And I may possibly up their feed a little bit. The reason that I've kind of stuck with this amount of feed to feed the tilapia every day, where am I from? To feed them every day is that I've kind of got the feeling, it's just a feeling that if I feed them more, the water won't, the pond won't be able to handle it. The water will foul. That's just the feeling I've got. Get out of there. I could feed them more. They would undoubtedly eat more, but it is kind of a balance between what they'll eat and what the pond will handle in the way of waste. And since it's not a continuously flowing system, since there's water not continually flowing into it, and there's no aeration, I don't want to press my luck too much. There's probably, you know, from very small fry up to 600, 700 gram fish. There could be 100,000 fish in that little pond. And as far as biomass goes, perhaps, I don't know, right now at the moment, at least 2 tons. Why do people go behind my back and do stuff like this? I had the pump plugged in and the aeration pump plugged in, and now I come in here and neither one is plugged in. It's just irritating. That people don't know why something is the way that it is, but nonetheless just change it on a whim. They don't know why the pump was pumping. They should know why this air pump was pumping, but nonetheless they just unplugged it. No big deal. So anyway, this is the stuff that this is the homemade fry mash. And I don't know how well you can see that, but they dig it. They love it. And they're growing. No little floating fingerlings in the water in the morning. It seems like it's working fine, so if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Even the Zola seems to be doing well. In fact, I may need to up their ration a little bit. Because these guys are getting after that pretty dang quick. Alright, well, off I go to feed the tilapia in the main pond. Alright, well, it doesn't take long to feed them. It's only about 5 minutes of tossing it in. One thing that I did change up just today is, you know, when I was coming in before, when I come in from this direction, I was throwing a couple scoops right in here, and you can see there's a lot of activity in there. There's a lot of fish in there, and I've just decided that I'm going to quit feeding them right there. The fish in the pond outside of the cages are all going to be fed down here, because I want them to be used to being fed down here on this end, because I am going to make that catch net that David has suggested, and it's just basically, I don't know, like a 3 or 4 meter square net that you lay on the bottom with 4 ropes and a pole on it, with a fulcrum, and you throw some feed out in the water and pull the net up real quick, and there you have your fish. So I'm thinking we've got almost enough biomass in this one here, because I'm thinking we've got like 1,500 fish in it now, because we put a lot in it. Didn't count them individually, just more or less guessed. They're still eating quite a bit less in this pen here than they are in this one, and that's mainly due because these are much smaller fish. The fish in this cage here have been in there for, I don't know, about a month longer than these, maybe even a bit more than that. So they're larger and they eat more, and they eat more vocally. And you can see there's even a little extra feed here that these guys down here haven't gotten yet, because there's so many dang fish down at the other end. But anyway, we're going to start really catching the fish in here, and the ones that are sellable size are going to go into this cage here, and the ones that are not sellable size that need to grow are going to go into this one, regardless of how many are already in it, because I want to drastically reduce the number of fish in this pond that are not in cages, to try to control the breeding a little bit. Now this next cage that we're going to put in are going to be sexed fry, so it's going to be a while before they're put into this last cage we're going to make. I had thought that we would just catch all the fish we could out of this pond and put them in the third cage, but I want to do the side-by-side comparison from sexed tilapia in a cage in this pond that I'm feeding versus in that new mini pond down there that are being fed much less commercial feed, but eat a lot more natural feed, and do a cost analysis on which way. I'm sure that the ones in the cage here will grow faster, but the amount of the feed cost will be exponentially higher. So I want to just get a bottom line. Does it make sense turnover wise to feed them and get that fast 4 to 4.5, 5 month turnaround, so that you can get more new fry in it and get it all started again? Or does it make more sense to do it the more natural way, where they're growing slower but on natural feed that is basically free? But then again, you have to wait an extra 6 weeks to 2 months, so you'd basically every 2 years you would lose at least one harvest if you're adding 2 months to each grow out cycle. So that's why I want those numbers, to see which way is the most profitable way to move forward. So I need this area in this third net, in this third cage, for the sexed tilapia. But there's way too much biomass in this pond right now, and there's way too many breeding females in it. And really the only way to get them out is to fully drain this pond. And I'm not yet, I don't want to fully drain this pond. I can't, because I've got 2 cages of fish in it, and I don't want to yet, because I still want to be able to harvest fry out of this. And I do have I've got an idea on how to harvest the fry out of this as well. So stay tuned. I didn't intend to make this an all about tilapia video. This was going to be a feeding video. So off I go to continue my feeding duties. Alright, well, I had thought that I would be making a video of me feeding the pigs, but you know, I just got into like a little mini argument with Marcel because I was just in the feed room like 20-30 minutes ago, and that white bucket that Gina has wasn't there, but I didn't really think anything of it. So I just went and fed the fish, and then when I came back, I was going to get the feed together to feed the pigs, and all the buckets were gone, and the cord on the latch for the feed room was different. So this one's okay too, Gina. Yeah. So what we're going to do tomorrow is we're going to move these pigs around a little bit. Into dry pens, the sows with piglets anyway. Not this one because it's still wet. So I guess any of those down there. So anyway, Gina and I will discuss, I guess, I don't know, I haven't talked to Gina about her taking over the feeding duties because I wouldn't even have thought that she'd want to do it, but I'll talk to her about it. And if she doesn't want to, then I'll do it. Alright, well, Gina has volunteered to take over Consing's feeding duties. Yeah, this used to be Gina's job. It's take this out. Much less of a job now because there's only 30 pigs instead of 300.
I need to take this out.
So, anyway, Consing is still gonna, you know, Consing is in fact coming back tomorrow. She's gonna do some other work for us. When I said before that Consing had quit, she was just no longer interested in the pig drama or having to deal with John and Richard's representative. It wasn't that she wasn't wanting to work for us. She just didn't want to work with the pigs anymore. So, because we know how important it is for Consing to have work, we're going to try to, at least a couple days, find something for her to do. What are you doing, Gina?
I need this one.
You need this one. Well, just pull on it.
Pull? I cannot hang it back if I pull it.
Oh, you need to hang it back.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing of doing it with nylon.
I'll just
If there's not a proper another hole.
Another what do you call that one?
Wait. You gotta.
Oh, if I pull it will
Oh
break.
yeah. All right. Well, here, just wait. Just wait. I will solve this problem for you.
If I can, yeah, I can reach. Where is it? Come on. Why not?
Because you need the back there. You got it.
Okay.
Okay.
Ay, so. Tara. Ah!
Hey, Maria.
Ay, nako.
All right. So anyway, Consing is going to be doing whatever we can find for her to do to fill a day once or twice a week, and Gina is going to be taking care of the pigs. So it's all good, and feeding the chickens as well, I guess. So it's all good. Thank you, everyone. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe.